tying observability to business goals. Great.
OK, so we had a very involved conversation that spanned all aspects of business. But there were a couple of things that we kept coming back to. There are many business units, and usually the folks focusing on observability are on the technical side, and there's a lot of conversation about how to convince the business side that this is a worthy investment. Along those lines comes with technical debt, other ways of managing different types of development. But there are a couple of things that really stood out. One was using the same source data to drive both engineering processes and business goals is a really good way to convince a business that it's worthwhile investing time and money in those tools, because they can use that data to make better business decisions. So a couple other things came out. When describing why the observability tools are really useful, having specific stories about customer impact is a good way to bring that back to business goals. And ultimately, the business goals do follow a chain to get back to technical decisions. That's why we're building tech, to fulfill business goals. But sometimes you need to illustrate that a little bit more clearly in order to justify the observability side of things rather than the feature-driven side of things. The other part that came out along with the anecdotes is that we're used to building metrics and KPIs. And there's Charity's favorite phrase that nines don't matter when users aren't happy, because we've failed to tie back the actual user experience into those KPIs. So as a takeaway, establishing regular cadence reviews of customer issues, of support tickets, of input from your user base helps you identify when your existing numbers that you're using to bubble up to the business are insufficient. Finally, around finding the time to do these things, establishing rigorous budgetary processes so that you can set aside time to work on observability and technical debt and errors and bugs and all that helps you carve out that time to do the work, and also tells you when to stop doing that work and go back to focusing on the software that is more feature-driven. Otherwise, we want to make everything perfect as engineers. We want to solve all the problems, and that's not always the right choice to make. And I'm sorry for all of the things I left out, because we had a number of amazing conversations.
Thank you.